Hi guys, and welcome to a little bit of a tutorial that I've decided to do. I've had a few messages asking me how I've been recording my PlayStation 4 footage using the Hauppauge HD PVR 2 and what settings to use to get the best quality. Now, this is quite subjective because it mainly depends on quite a few factors, and we're going to run through them. So the first thing I want to do is open the Hauppauge Center, drag it across. You're actually seeing my second screen now. It says here starting device. I'm going to presume that you've already connected your HD PVR to your console and you know how to get all that set up. Now, first things first, you want to make sure that here at the bottom that your input resolution is the highest that you can get it set to using your PlayStation or your Xbox. Now, in my case, it's 1920 by 1080p, and that's at 60 frames per second. Now, the HD PVR 2 only records at 30 frames per second. So you can also set that to 30 frames per second. It does not matter because you cannot record in 60 frames per second. Now, next off, we're going to go through a few of the features. So, starting at the very basics, you've got your record button here, or you can press the button on the HD PVR itself to start recording. You've got the skip back feature. Now, with this activated, basically your HD PVR is constantly recording, and you can set this to whatever time you want. So, if I was to set that to 10 minutes and I am playing a computer game, say Rocket League, and I haven't set it to record, and I think, oh, do you know what? I've just had a really good game then, and it was only 8 minutes long. I would like to keep that. If you've got skip back on, you can press record and go back, and it will save the last 10 minutes of gameplay. So it's very handy if you don't want to have your Hauppauge recording constantly, eating up your hard drive space. It just basically is a 10-minute loop. You can set that all the way up to 99 minutes. But I don't use that feature because I'm only recording when I know I want to record. So next we've got file name. This is whatever you want the file to be saved as. You've got your timer here, and what this does, it allows you to set a time that you would like to record for. So if you wanted to record for say 1 hour, you would put 01 and then press record. And as you can see, the timer is now counting down and it's recording. We've recorded 5 seconds in and we're up to 7 megabytes, sorry, not bits. It's created a default name because I didn't enter one. Stop. Now you've got your file formats here. You've got MP4, TS and M2TS. I always record in MP4. The reason being it's the most compatible with all the different programs that you're going to use for editing, such as Vegas, Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, After Effects, all that sort of stuff. MP4 is the most compatible. Now, video in, this is the video that's coming from your console to your HD PVR. In my case, it's HDMI cable, and the audio in my case, is also HDMI. Sometimes I do use optical, digital optical, but at the moment I've only got the HDMI connected. Every time you choose an option, as you see there, it's gone blank. It resets the HD PVR to allow for the new settings. Now, microphone, this is if you want to use an external microphone. As you can see, I've got a Blue Snowball connected to my computer. Now, these are microphones that are connected to your computer, not your console. So, at the moment, I'm recording this audio through Audacity because that's where I do all my audio editing. So, it wouldn't make sense for me to record my microphone using this and then, chuck it all onto Audacity. I prefer using Audacity. You get a lot more control over your audio, and I don't tend to use this. The only thing I use this for is capturing my game audio. because I like to use a headset. Now this leads us to the next problem with the HD PVR2. If you're using a headset to listen to your game audio, then the sound comes through the headset on a PlayStation 4. It's not the same on an Xbox, but on a PlayStation 4, if you've got your headset connected to your Bluetooth controller, the audio does not go through the HDMI cable. So that makes this part, the audio in, redundant. So what you need to do is buy a splitter cable. I've put a link in the description to the one that I used from Amazon. I think it was about £9 British pounds. What's that? $11. Might not have even been that actually, but you'll see in the link. And basically what it is, it's a 3.5mm jack that goes from your Bluetooth PS4 DualShock controller, and then you have one attachment that goes to your computer, to your microphone in, and you also have a female end that you can plug your headset into. It's all fairly simple, but just makes it a bit more complicated than the Xbox. Then you want the game and voice set to full if you're going to use the line in, which I haven't got connected at the moment. And what all that will do is ensure that you capture the PlayStation or Xbox audio at full volume. Now we're going to start getting onto the actual quality of the video itself. So what we want to do is go down to the video quality box here. Now when I'm recording for my YouTube videos, I have this ramped up all the way to 14 megabits per second because I am recording 30 frames per second, 1080p. An ideal bitrate would be around 13 megabits per second. Sorry, I just got a text message. An ideal bitrate would be around 13.2 megabits per second. So if I put it up to 14, I've got more than enough processor power and I've got more than enough hard drive space. So size isn't an issue for me because my upload speed is brilliant. I'm going to set that to constant because what I don't want it to do, if I choose variable and my PC decides that it wants to start doing an AGV scan or something like that, what it's going to do is lower the processor power that is available for the video. And that's something that I don't want it to do. I want my video to stay the same quality from beginning to end. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why wouldn't everybody just whack this up to full? You see, the thing is, recording at 14 megabits per second is going to take up a larger file size, and I'll show you an example now. So at 14 megabits per second, we're going to click record, and we're going to record a 20-second video clip. We're on 5 seconds now. And I'm just going to show you the differences in file sizes. And you're probably thinking, well, it doesn't matter, I've got a 3 terabyte hard drive. But it might not matter for that, but what it does matter for is your upload speed to YouTube. So at 20, we've got 37 megabits video. Now what I'm going to do is lower the video quality down to say 5 megabits per second. I know it's an extreme drop, but it's just to show you, how much difference it makes. Apply your new settings, just wait for it. Okay, and now we're going to record again. We're going to record another 20-second clip and show you the difference. Now what you've got to bear in mind is at the moment, there's nothing going on that PlayStation. It's just sat still on the main menu, if that's what you want to call it. And we've got a 27 clip now, which is 14 megabits per second. So it's just under half the file size. But when you're actually playing the game and you've got a lot going on and the pixels are jumping around and the colours are changing a lot, the file size increases dramatically. I can be recording a video that's less than an hour and it can easily get up to 5 gig, 6 gig. But it's not an issue for me, but it may be an issue for you if your upload speed is, say, 5 megabits per second. You're going to be uploading that video to YouTube and it's going to be taking you anywhere up to 3 hours, maybe even 4 hours to upload the video. So next, what I want to do is go to the advanced settings. Video scaler, leave this well alone. All this is for is if you want to lower your quality, not improve it. So if you add an input content of 1080, you can lower it to 720, 540. You can also lower the frame rate 30, 25, 15. We want to go down to video encoder. You want to choose high. And obviously if you want the absolute best, you choose 4.2. But you're not going to notice that much difference between 4 and 4.2. I just leave it on 4. Latency, obviously I want that on low. Standard definition, aspect ratio, this doesn't matter because, you know, we're recording in 1080. You've got the video processing amplifier. This does not affect the quality of your video. What it does, if you look at the PlayStation screen there, all it does is change the look of the video. It doesn't actually change the quality. Can't remember what that was on now. Never mind. So after we've finished messing with that, audio encoder. I know this isn't video settings, but we might as well do it anyway. I choose 256 kilobits per second. You could go 384 kilobits per second. You're wasting your time. When you upload it to YouTube, you're losing that much anyway, that unless you're an absolute audiophile that wants to listen to classical music and get absolutely the best sound out of every little pass and violin, and you don't need to be messing with that. You're just adding file size for no reason. So you go to 256 and then leave everything else as it is here. Analog audio boost, you don't need to mess with that. You're going to change all your settings in Vegas or Adobe anyway. You want to disable HDMI AC3 support. And what this is, use multiple audio tracks for recordings. Now, I don't need this because I record my voice in Audacity. So I've already got a separate file for my voice recording. But if you was recording using the microphone setting here, if you notice, there's the game audio, which comes from your audio in. You've got your voice audio from your microphone, and you can also record the PC audio. Now, if you use multiple tracks for recordings, what that will do, when you import it to, say, Sony Vegas, you'll have your video track, and then you will have 3 separate audio files. As I only use the game audio itself, I only have the one, so I do not need to enable that, but that is what it's for. Audio decoders, there's probably somebody out there better qualified to explain what these are than me. I don't really know what they are, so I just leave them as they are. My audio, to me, it sounds absolutely fine. I've had no reason to change it. Microphone, as you can see, we've got a delay here, and what this does is enables, if you're using the microphone option here, sometimes it doesn't quite tie up with the game audio, and because I am recording my game audio through a line in as an external microphone, I've noticed that when I have it set to 0, if I was to swing a sword and it hits a wall, the sound happens before the action. So the other way around. So what I've done is change the delay and just done a few test recordings and got it to match up. Yours may be completely different to mine, so do not go off that setting. Just basically telling you what it is. HDMI pass-through, just use a standard HD PVR settings. And then webcam, I don't use that, so, but you just basically leave it set to auto. Press OK. And let it reset. Now, some of you may be wondering how I've got this Gamerlad logo in the bottom corner here, and it's in all of my videos. What I've done is just basically gone to settings. This is where you choose where you want your recordings to go. And what I've done is I've gone down here to personal logo, and you tick that box initially, and then click browse. Choose where you want your which image size image file, sorry, that you want to use. In my case, I've used a PNG that I made through Photoshop. And you click locked aspect ratio, and what it'll do is it'll appear here and it'll get you to move it around, and when you go back to your capture page, it will always be there, and you don't have to do that every time. That will stay there now until I remove it. I could turn Hauppauge off and turn it back on, and that would still be there. And that's it, guys. That is the bare bread and butter of how to use the Hauppauge HD PVR2 and how I use it to record my videos. I hope this video has been of use to you. If you're having difficulty setting up your HD PVR and you need to know how to do it, just let me know in the comments section and I'll happily do a video showing you. And I've been Gamerlad, guys. I'll see you for now.